I spent 2 days with Mike Michalowicz, the author of Profit First, and 11 entrepreneurs, and I learned some very unexpected things. The business lessons and masterminding were top notch, and I'm going to share some specific things I learned, but first, I just have to share that what absolutely blew me away was watching Mike Michalowicz, not in a creepy way, I promise, keep his fun and generous energy for 2 evenings, 2 lunches, and 2 full days of interacting. He was in his zone of genius, and we got to watch his team make sure that he stayed there. One of the principles he teaches is the 4-week vacation. And basically, you build up your systems and your SOPs to where you or someone on your team, if they need, like what if they get sick or what if they are unavailable in some unexpected way, so that anybody can take 4 weeks off. And guess what? We actually got to see this in action because Mike's co-founder of the Prosper Group, that's the group that put on this Reignite conference, his name was Greg. He got really sick and he couldn't make it. And the whole conference still ran like clockwork. And yes, Clockwork is also his book that talks about the 4-week vacation. And we did miss you, Greg, by the way, if you're watching this. So Ashley Berghoff, the amazing operations phenom, who is a coaching partner for Prosper Group, she ended up taking on a role that she had never taken on before, and we got to see her execute it absolutely seamlessly. This was just a small example of Mike and his team members walking the walk and practicing what he talks about in his books. So another thing that blew me away was his absolute total transparency and openness, more than any other leader of entrepreneurs I've actually ever seen. So his mission, his purpose is to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. That really is near and dear to my heart. I was raised in a family of entrepreneurs. We were always entrepreneurs, and we were super rich until I was like 8, and then we lost everything due to no fault of my dad and my grandpa, and then they built back up again, and they did well after I left the house. But that's just such a near and dear thing to my heart. Part of his mission means that he is showing entrepreneurs every detail of what a highly functioning business that cares about its clients and team looks like. Example number 1 of his radical transparency. He brought his internal Mike Michalowicz team to the front of the room to tell us about how he hired them, how they operate as a team, and to let us ask any questions that we had. And they all shared these warm, fuzzy things that Mike does for them and the warm, fuzzy things that they do for each other. And then Mike, after they left, he addressed the elephant in the room with all these culture building fun things like, do they actually get work done? Oh, yes, they do. So his team, they're both wonderfully efficient and productive, and they also have this amazing culture. So this is in part due to their daily huddles where they all share the one most important thing that they're getting done that day, plus where they are on the most important thing they wanted to get done the day before, plus any personal updates. And these approximately 15-minute meetings are crucial for productivity and for bonding as well. Then Mike started talking about delegating. So delegating is them being responsible for the outcome. So if an employee is still asking questions, they're not taking over the task. He talked about letting team members be responsible for the outcomes, and if it looks like their idea for getting an outcome is a bad one, as long as it doesn't affect the company, he still lets them try it, which is awesome. He said the key here is making sure that you have your daily huddles so that you can keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on, and also your weekly one-on-ones with your team. You can also have a department manager conduct the one-on-ones if you're at that phase in the business. So during these one-on-ones, you ask, how did that thing go that you were building, that you carried out? And then the team member will report on it along with their solutions. And during these meetings, you look for opportunities for improvements and opportunities for acknowledgments as well. Example number 2 of radical transparency. One of the best parts was the tour of the Mike Michalowicz headquarters, which was their office. We got to see so many of his teachings in action, including the personal operating manual and each person's responsibilities on the wall. The personal operating manual is basically how each person on the team operates best. And they even had their dream boards and a goal tree where every time they met a goal, a personal or business goal, they would put it on the tree. So I could just feel how much Mike and anyone who works for him cares. They just deeply, deeply care. As I flew home from New Jersey, which is where his headquarters is, to Las Vegas, I felt like I could trust Mike and his team. There were no glass-shattering moments of meeting your hero just to see the seedy underbelly of a marketing machine that uses its powers to influence and then exploit. Oh no. There was just a lovable, friendly guy doing what he loves to do, which just happens to be eradicating entrepreneurial poverty. And by the way, I love his books, and the topics that I referenced in this video are in Clockwork and All In. All right, let me know if any of this was helpful to you. I know it was helpful to me to think of everything in just a little bit of a different way. And as always, if you ever want to brainstorm offloading or delegating tasks to virtual assistants, I'm here. Check out my link below.